Hey, good evening, guys. We are talking weather this evening because we have strong thunderstorms that will be moving through here in the next couple of days. Right now, we've got a great Friday evening setting up for us. We've got mostly clear skies, both in northwest Arkansas and in the River Valley. Temperatures have been warmed thanks to those southerly winds, too. And we'll continue to have those southerly winds for the next couple of days as long as these storms are coming on through. But we wanted to chat with you guys live about what we're expecting. We have the latest information coming from the Storm Prediction Center. We've been looking at the data all evening long, and we just want to give you a preview as we enter the weekend. What can you expect this weekend? There's a lot of crazy things that are going to be happening. It's not going to be a normal 2nd of October weekend. It's the second weekend, right, we've had for the month, and it's not going to be anything like what we're supposed to be having. I'm going to step off here towards the side for a second because you can see here on the right, our two main threats at the end of this weekend will be hail and then gusty winds. What's going to be happening over the next couple of days, you kind of got a taste today. We've had strong southerly winds really trying to warm us up. And tomorrow we're going to get even warmer. We hit the 90s in northwest Arkansas earlier today. We were in the mid-90s in the River Valley, and we're going to get even warmer for your Saturday. Sunday looks warm too, but then this is all short-lived. It's hard to keep warm air like this for a long time. And so a cold front will be due. We'll get a cold front that's coming through late Sunday night, early into Monday morning, and then here are the colors. We got storm threats for us. So you see the legend up at the top, basically 1 through 5, 1 being the smallest threat, 5 being the greatest threat, usually a huge outbreak. We're in the middle. As this cold front comes through late Sunday night, early Monday morning, we'll be watching strong thunderstorms pop up in central and eastern Oklahoma, where the front will be. Honestly, the front's probably going to be in Oklahoma City late Sunday evening. And then it's going to be pressing eastbound into Arkansas. That orange color shows you a Category 3, where we're going to probably have the strongest thunderstorms right in the evening, just after sunset. And as we get later into the overnight hours, those storms will press eastbound, but they'll likely lose a lot of steam. And that's why you see those threat levels go down as you head eastbound. So the farther west you live, the stronger the storms are likely to be. What's really going to happen is later into the afternoon on Sunday, we'll have these cells that try to pop up, and they'll have their own breathing room. They'll be individual cells, and since they have their own breathing room, they can really start to do their own thing, may even spin a little bit. There will be an isolated tornado threat. But as these thunderstorms get bigger and bigger, eventually they're going to collide in one long line and then march eastbound. Then the tornado threat starts to go down. The hail threat will also start to go down, but that gusty wind threat will still be there, and a lightning threat, and then, of course, downpours. A lot of us are going to get some downpours late Sunday night. But in Sequoyah County, LaFleur County, we're under that level 3 risk, and even technically that level 3 risk includes downtown Fort Smith. It kind of includes the first 3 or 4 miles headed into Arkansas for parts of Crawford County, Sebastian County, and then south into Scott County, too. Van Buren, we're also right on the edge of that level 3. Category 2 for all of northwest Arkansas, and for a good chunk of the eastern River Valley. Likely storms are going to be weakening as they press eastbound. Eventually, we're kind of stuck with the leftovers for eastern Johnson County, eastern Logan County. I think especially by the time they get to Little Rock, they'll pretty much be nothing. But the farther west you live, the stronger the thunderstorms are going to be. So let's talk timing. Basically, here's kind of a look at when all those individual storms have already collided into one long line. And once they do, we'll have a better picture on when they'll arrive in your neighborhood. We'll get a good speed on their trajectory headed eastbound, and we can do that math and show you guys. But here's the latest. Right about midnight, Sunday night, early into Monday morning, we're probably going to watch that line still be mainly in Oklahoma, but getting dangerously close to the state line. We'll be watching just west of Sequoyah County, just west of LaFleur County for those strong thunderstorms. By the time we get to 3 o'clock, it'll probably be crossing the state line, impacting us in northwest Arkansas, impacting us in Fort Smith, Van Buren. So this is late into the night. Probably going to wake up early thanks to the rumbles of thunder. We're probably going to have a lot of rumbles of thunder and lots of lightning too. By 6 a.m., a little bit before sunrise, we'll have mainly the leftovers. It probably won't be as robust as this line. It'll start to weaken over time, but we'll get some of the leftovers in Johnson County and eastern Logan County. Maybe by that time, there'll just be good downpours and not so much of the severe weather, but maybe we get a good soaker for us, at least in Paris and Clarksville and Knoxville too. With this line though, you're probably going to get an hour or so of strong thunderstorms, wind blowing like crazy, big downpour, flashes of lightning, rumbles of thunder, keeping you up at night. And then on the backside, there'll be a little bit of this light rain that we'll get for a couple hours. So the whole thing will probably sit over your neighborhood for about 3 hours total, 3 to 4 hours. But it's that first roughly 50 to 60 minutes where things will probably be the most intense, and then just light showers on the backside. We've been kind of talking about some threats, but hopefully this kind of shows you what we're really concerned about. Our biggest concern will be those gusty winds, mainly because once we form that line, you start to get this rain-cooled air, and it just bursts out these thunderstorms, especially when you have one long line. There's a lot of cold air from that rain-cooled air. You notice it's hot before a thunderstorm, and then it gets cold afterwards, or cool, not usually too cold. But that cooler air really rushes out and produces those gusty winds. Hail threats are there, but they're kind of in the low to almost medium category. Flash flooding is not going to be as much of a threat just because the system's going to be moving. It's not going to be moving as, 60, 70 miles per hour just right in and right out, but it's going to be moving at a fast enough clip that hopefully we won't get these downpours just sitting over the same locations over and over again for several hours. This thing is going to be on the move. Tornado threats are low. The thing with this tornado threat, at least for Arkansas, will be right along the leading edge. You guys know the drill. Sometimes you get little spin-ups right on the leading edge. You get this notch and this burst of wind kind of goes out, and then it tries to circulate a little bit. Usually you don't get too strong of tornadoes with those, but they're still going to be possible. But I think the biggest threat will be the gusty winds. To be honest, sometimes these gusty winds are stronger than the weak tornadoes that we can get on the leading edge. So just be on the lookout for that. You may want to bring in the patio furniture after you enjoy the summer-like weekend. I mean, we're going to be well into the 90s. It's going to feel like a weekend in August, not a weekend in October. But you may want to bring a couple things in Sunday night before you head to bed. Right now, we're sitting in the 70s and 80s. We got Football Friday night going on. Our sports team, I've never seen harder workers. They're out there like crazy, but they're enjoying the warmer weather. We've had those southwesterly winds pretty much all day. We're still sitting at 80 in Fayetteville. This time yesterday, we were in those 60s. It's starting to cool down, but we're not going to cool down as quickly tonight thanks to those southerly winds. Tomorrow's high temperatures, Saturday's high temperatures. We're going to be in the low to mid 90s. It's going to be toasty. A lot of us got into the mid 90s today in the River Valley, and we hit 90 briefly earlier today in Fayetteville. Will be a little bit warmer. 94 is the record in Fort Smith tomorrow. That's our forecast too. It's probably a good chance that we even beat that record. And we'll put 2021 down for October 9th. All right, let's talk about what's going on right now, and we'll show you where that cold front is. We've got mostly clear skies. We'll probably have mostly clear skies this weekend too. But then eventually this front that's making its way across the Great Basin right now in Nevada and Utah will bring its cooler air, will hit Oklahoma and Arkansas by the time we get to Sunday evening. Oklahoma's chance will be late Sunday evening. Arkansas's chance, technically early Monday morning. But things are going to be loud area-wide. So we're priming the atmosphere right now. All the warmth that we're going to feel this weekend, we're going to pay for it later because it's just bringing more fuel to the fire. We'll have a lot of warm energy ready to go for some of these thunderstorms as they push in from the west. To be honest, this is looking like a decent setup for us, but the reason why we don't have a higher threat level is because the timing of these thunderstorms. If these things were coming in probably 5, 6 o'clock, things would be kind of nasty around here for a while. But since things are going to be happening after midnight, you lose some of the heat. But may not be quite as strong, but we're probably going to get some severe thunderstorm warnings out of this. But it's going to be a warm and breezy weekend, both Saturday and Sunday, and then just enough to provide a stormy night coming in Sunday and then early into Monday. All right, let's walk you through FutureCast for the next couple of days. Lots of things to point out. So this is tomorrow morning, 7 o'clock. Your Saturday looks great. No matter what your weather plans are, you're going to be fine. The temperature's going to be warm, though. We'll be in the 90s, some upper 80s, depending on where you live, with those south winds still blowing. Those gusts could get close to 30 miles per hour. Waking up Sunday, we should be dry, too. There could be a few high clouds every once in a while, but I think we're dry. But then that line comes in. So this is Sunday night, roughly around 10 o'clock or so. We'll be watching those thunderstorms come in from the west, and we're going to kind of do this every couple of hours. So this is midnight. Storms are starting to cross the state line. Notice how this system kind of gets a little wonky. Notice how it was sharp, it was concise, and as it moves eastbound, it starts to break apart a little bit. That's that weakening process because we're in the middle of the night right now, right? Thunderstorms got to eventually go to sleep too, just like us. But once we go into the early morning hours, this is 2 o'clock, we start to get the leftovers. Some of these downpours will still be pretty strong, and we could still get a severe thunderstorm warning with some of the gusty winds. But you can see the trend. Things start to weaken as they press eastbound. By 4 o'clock, there's that remnant line. It might not be a big deal for us in Clarksville and Boonville and Paris. Maybe we get the rain. Actually, hopefully we get the rain. but it looks like the severe potential goes down. That's why we're at level 1 from Clarksville east to Knoxville and east to Little Rock. On the backside, there will probably be a couple leftover showers, maybe a quick rumble of thunder. But the most severe type weather and the weather that you want to be concerned about would be taking place overnight. By the time we get to sunrise, things are just leftovers, and hopefully we just got some rain out there helping to wet things down. In fact, the new drought monitor came out, and we're still in our level 1 drought. Even the rain that we got, about a week ago, still really was enough to really break things. All right, here are the next 7 days in Northwest Arkansas. Of course, we got a great weekend ahead of us. It's going to feel like summer. We'll be in the low 90s and upper 80s. Then when that weather alert takes place, that's Monday, early Monday in the morning. Your 5 News weather team is going to be here. We're not getting sleep that night. I'm sure you guys won't either, because we'll be watching those storms. Then what's interesting, guys, is that we've got another cold front coming in later the week. You see in the River Valley, we're going to be in the mid-90s. This time of year, we should be in the mid to upper 70s. That's a big difference. It's going to take 2 cold fronts for us to get there. First cold front, of course, we get the thunderstorms and that weather alert for early Monday morning. Hopefully take a pause. Tuesday, breather. By Wednesday, that next front will come through, but it's going to be kind of slow, and we'll have more rain chances as you go into the rest of the week. So it's going to be a slower system, and that means the severe potential won't be as bad. But we'll still have probably some thunderstorms Wednesday into Thursday and into Friday as we're wrapping up this upcoming week. So lots of different things playing with our forecast. Of course, this time of year, things get a little bit more interesting. It's kind of our second severe weather season. Usually fall, we get that severe weather potential. Not quite as bad as the spring, but fall is that secondary severe weather mode that we got to be looking out for. Once again, that is late Sunday night. As you're headed to bed, we'll be watching that northwestern sky because thunderstorms are likely to be rolling in from Oklahoma and pushing into Arkansas.